Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Sunset Dunes. My name is Phil Ginsberg. I am the general manager of your San Francisco Recreation and Park Department. This is truly a historic day. When we think back to the 150 years of our city's history, there have been lots of days. But there are a few days where we really feel that history is shaping, and this is one of them. Sunset Dunes represents the largest pedestrianization conversion project in California history. 2 full miles, 50 acres of transformation from cars to people, from Lincoln to Sloat. I know you've already been from Lincoln to Sloat and back, but take a look around at the magic. The murals that celebrate the ocean, a pump track buzzing with energy, sculptures that spark wonder, kites in the sky. This is a space that is built for all seasons and all seasons of life, where kids can coast, elders can stroll, and everyone can find their moment of bliss. It is a milestone in San Francisco's legacy of reimagining public space for people, for connecting the city with the coast, and for prioritizing nature and play. It's deeply rooted in our values. Equity, yes, equity.
Come on now.
Access, sustainability, and joy. And speaking of joy, our naming contest, the Great Park Naming Contest, brought out a lot of creativity and fun. You've heard about the favorites and some of the snarky ones. Some of my favorites were the cheekier ones, such as the Tan Handle or Doomsday Park. There was Erosion Park, perhaps a bit too on the nose, and poetic ideas like Drifting Dunes. Frankly, my personal favorite, ironically, was the Fog Line. But each suggestion captured the spirit of this community, brimming with imagination and heart. So welcome to Sunset Dunes, everyone. This park is for you, and it is for all of us for generations to come and forever. Before we dive into today's program, I want to take a moment to give a heartfelt shout out to the incredible team at the San Francisco Recreation and Park Department who made this project possible. From our Capital Division, led by Stacy Bradley, our project manager, Alex Shuknick, who is out here every day. Thank you, Alex, for shepherding this from blueprint to beauty. For their vision and planning, Brian Stokel and Yael Golan. To Nick Algerson, the park manager who's been out here with his crews day in and day out. Alex Weaver, Brendan O'Keefe, our section supervisors. Ramiro Rodriguez, our custodial supervisor. Carol Siankowski, our park superintendent. Our park rangers, our structural maintenance staff. It took a whole team to work with community who we're also going to thank aplenty to pull this off. I also want to thank our partnerships team. Abigail Mayer, our deputy director, thank you for connecting us with the people and organizations that help make this place extraordinary. Our permits team, Dana Ketchum, Shauna Bogetz, who's helped navigate making this a place where people can come and enjoy conflict-free. And I want to acknowledge the leadership of our Recreation and Park Commission. We're joined today by the president of our commission, Kat Anderson, for their leadership in guiding this process. Thank you, Kat, wherever you are. Also, a special shout out to Sarah Madlin, who leads our policy and public affairs team. Jack Avery, who coordinated the many moving pieces on the city side around this project. And our commission liaison, who is also one hell of an urban planner and designer, who designed all of the A-frame signs that connect this space to our fabulous merchant corridors at Irving, at Judah, at Taravel, and Noriega. Ashley Summers. Nothing happens alone in this city or at the Rec and Park Department. And we couldn't have done this without a lot of our partners. We had a lot of partners. I want to thank the SFMTA. Their fearless leader, Julie Kirschbaum, is here. I want to thank the Department of Public Works. Their fearless leader, Carla Short, is here. I want to thank SFPUC. We share space with them. They're underground right now. I want to thank Caltrans. I want to thank the mayor's office. You're going to hear from Alicia Jean-Baptiste representing our fabulous mayor in a second. I want to thank our board of supervisors. We are joined by one special representative of the board who I have the honor of introducing later. I want to thank the National Park Service. David Smith, you're going to hear from later. The Golden Gate National Recreation Area, the Golden Gate National Parks Conservancy, our friends at the California Coastal Commission, the Coastal Conservancy, the Friends of the formerly Ocean Beach Park, now called Friends of Sunset Dunes. I want to thank the Office of Small Business. I believe Katie Tang is out here someplace for guiding us in building bridges with our merchant corridors. It's been said that victory has many parents. Defeat, of course, is an orphan, but victory has many parents. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge our mayor, Mayor Daniel Lurie, who had the chance to get a sneak peek of this space 2 days ago. He came out quietly, like he often does, to meet staff and community leaders, the people who are sweating for this space, to say thank you. I know he's just as excited as we are about the positive impact this incredible space is going to have on our city. So we've got a fantastic lineup of speakers to help us reflect on this historic moment. So without further delay, I am so pleased and honored to introduce Alicia Jean-Baptiste. She is the mayor's policy chief overseeing parks and infrastructure and the environment. And while leading Spur in her former job, Alicia oversaw the development of the Ocean Beach Master Plan, which really was the cornerstone planning effort that probably got us here today. She is a passionate advocate for San Francisco's public spaces. Alicia, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alicia Jean-Baptiste. I'm Mayor Lurie's Chief of Infrastructure, Climate, and Mobility, and I could not be more thrilled to be with you all today. As Phil was mentioning, as Mayor's Infrastructure Chief, I really have the pleasure and the honor to oversee all of San Francisco's open spaces and public realm, whether that's our streets, our plazas, our parks, our recreation areas. And I could not be more proud that San Francisco is home to some of really the most beautiful, well-loved, and iconic public spaces in the entire country. from everything from India Basin to Dolores Park, McLaren Park, Golden Gate Park. These are places that knit our neighborhoods together, that give us easy access to nature, and that help us to build community with each other, which is so important, especially in these times. And these are places that are open to all of us. And so I could not be more thrilled that today we get to celebrate Sunset Dunes Park. I know I'm not alone in recognizing that recently in San Francisco, we have a palpable sense of renewed hope. We are once again believing that our city can live up to its promise as a place where all people get to thrive, a place that really embraces its natural beauty and its spirit of innovation. And to me, transforming this extraordinary stretch of coastline to a place that is accessible to all people is what hope looks like in action. And with this opening, we are not only creating a new space for people to enjoy, but we're also introducing both San Franciscans and visitors alike to the surrounding neighborhoods, to the amazing retail, to the restaurants, to the coffee shops. People are going to be able to hop onto Muni, preferred form of transportation, stop at their favorite coffee shop, get a picnic, come here with their families, their friends, and explore this beautiful area. It is really some of the best that this city has to offer. Mayor Lurie was out here earlier this week to celebrate the park opening and really to give thanks to all of the city staff who worked so hard to make today possible. And I also want to just acknowledge how much work went into making today what it is. There was sand to move. There will probably always be sand to move, but there was particularly sand to move in advance of this. There were traffic signals to install. There were permits to sign. There was a ton of planning and organizing to be done. And when our departments come together and work together, we can make incredible things happen, and we can make them happen quickly. So I want to really thank the staff at Recreation and Parks, at Public Works, at the MTA, at the Planning Department, at the PUC. And as Phil mentioned, this would not have happened without community leadership, without volunteer activity, without stakeholders being involved. And I'm so grateful to all of you who worked to make today possible. I know that you will continue to invest in this place to really make this another San Francisco icon. So thank you all so much. I can't wait to enjoy Sunset Dunes with you all. And maybe I will see you on the El Terravel on the way back.
Thank you, Alicia. Can you all hear me back there? Because I want to make sure we're a little louder than some of those automobiles out there humming. There's a couple of other partners I want to single out, and it's a long program, and I'm going to re-reference them and bring them on stage. But speaking of partners with whom we would not be here, I want to acknowledge and celebrate the amazing and also courageous director of our Arts Commission, Ralph Remington. And we are also joined today by the head of the Office of Community Investment and Infrastructure, long title, but also one of the most passionate and thoughtful public realm guys you will ever meet, Thor Kozlowski. All right, this next introduction is something I have been thinking about for a long time. Joel. So, it took a little heat, a little grit, a lot of pressure. But here we are, like a diamond, Sunset Dunes. And like any great transformation, it didn't come easy. Change is hard. But San Francisco has a proud history of turning controversial ideas into cherished places. Golden Gate Park, Patricia's Green, the Embarcadero, the Ferry Building, Crissy Field. Today, we wouldn't trade them for the world. But at the time, it took courage and imagination and leadership to forge ahead. Which brings me to Supervisor Joel Engardio. Yeah, I'm gonna preach a little bit right now. Supervisor Engardio represents the Sunset and our larger city with heart, hard work, and a deep commitment to thoughtful and forward-looking change. There is no dancing around the reality that Supervisor Engardio's support for this park, along with several other supervisors, by the way, has not been universally embraced in his district. But for this Sunset resident, that's what makes Joel Engardio a leader. Steve Jobs once said, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. True success comes not from conforming and following the crowd, but from pushing boundaries, even if it means ruffling some feathers along the way. John Quincy Adams, the 6th President of the United States, said it this way: if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Joel Engardio is a leader. He shows up day after day for the people of this district and for the future of this city. It really, really is my honor to welcome District 4 Supervisor Joel Engardio.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's take a moment to consider the people gathered in 1937 to open the Golden Gate Bridge. Do you think they realized their bridge would become the icon of San Francisco? The big icon back then was the gold rush of 1849, and it had defined the spirit of our city for a century. For the people gathered in 1937, there was no guarantee their bridge would become as famous as the gold rush and define our city for the next century. They just believed the bridge is what San Francisco needed for a brighter future. And against all odds, they made it happen. Bridge builder Joseph Strauss summed it up in his opening day speech. The Golden Gate Bridge stands before you in all its majestic splendor, he said, in complete refutation of every attack made upon it. The Golden Gate Bridge faced intense opposition. Too costly, too disruptive, too ugly, people said, that it looked like an upside-down rat trap. Imagine the social media posts if they had next door in 1937. What will our grandkids and great-grandkids think of this new park called Sunset Dunes? Will it become as iconic as the Gold Rush and the Golden Gate Bridge in the century to come? Yes. Yes, it can. Yes, it can, because this space connects people to something bigger than themselves. The power of the ocean, the beauty of the sunset, a space where a child can learn to ride a bike and dream, a space where a senior can roll in a wheelchair and remember, a space for every facet of life to celebrate, mourn, heal, and reflect. This has become a transformational space, attracting thousands of people each day to our coast, where magical things happen. Like the Halloween celebration with 10,000 kids and parents in costume on a Sunday afternoon. Or the 4th of July parade, where parents pulled their kids in decorated wagons led by marching bands. Joyful things are happening in this space, even when not everyone is happy about it. There was intense opposition to this new park. A majority of the residents who live nearby voted against it. Traffic is a major concern, and we must work to address that concern. Better traffic flow and pedestrian safety is something everyone can agree on. So let's work together on that. And as drivers get where they need to go, my hope is that everyone will come to see the benefits of their park. I say their park because it belongs to everyone. Our precious coast belongs to all San Franciscans, and now it is more accessible than ever. This coastal park is good for the environment. It's good for our local economy. It's good for our minds, bodies, and souls. I believe Sunset Dunes will benefit our Sunset neighborhoods for generations to come. While change can be difficult, let's embrace this once-in-a-century opportunity to reimagine this space. We are the lucky ones in this moment who get to create our best San Francisco. And for the people standing at the Golden Gate Bridge in 1937, for us standing at Sunset Dunes today, or when we face anything in life, there is a choice. We can choose to advocate for the future with hope and joy. Let's hear it for joy. Thank you.
Yeah, another thank you, Joel. So in honor of Supervisor Engardio's leadership, Joel, we present you with the Sunset Dunes Park sign.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Yes.
All right. It is now my pleasure to welcome someone whose work touches nearly every corner of our coastal landscape, not to mention every corner of Sunset Dunes. David Smith is the superintendent of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, one of the largest and most visited urban national parks in the world. He oversees 37 iconic sites, from the towering redwoods of Muir Woods to the historic halls of Alcatraz and Fort Point. Together, these places welcome 17 million visitors a year and serve as a cherished backyard for all of us. Welcome and thank you, David.
Good to see you.
Man, so I've been a park ranger for about 33 years. There makes me nothing happier than to see a whole bunch of happy people right now. This is just great. So thank you for being here today. The joy is totally palpable. You know, Golden Gate was created back in 1972, and it was, it was a challenge. It was mostly abandoned military bases. We didn't have enough money. We're in the middle of Watergate. It was a pretty miserable time. But 53 years later, it's the most popular national park in the United States. And it happened because of the people that lived here. It happens from the 2,400 volunteers from San Francisco that make this park work every year. It happens because people love this place, and it happens because of partnerships like with Phil and the city of San Francisco. I would be lying right now if I did not tell you it is a challenging time in the National Park Service. What's nice is I know Americans, I know San Franciscans, I know that this planet loves their parks. They stand behind. Yes. We stand behind our parks, and my partners with the city, my partners from the Trust and the Conservancy, they've got my back. And I promise you, Phil, in the next 10, 20 years, as we build this park as San Francisco, we've got your back, man. So rock on. Have a great day. Okay, it's a little bit limp there, man.
Yep.
Be careful.
I got it. Wow. Let's give it up for David Smith at our National Park Service. All right, before we bring up our next speaker, I want to take a quick moment to acknowledge another key piece of this park's story, our dunes. In February, we joined more than 100 incredible volunteers and partners from the National Park Service to Cal Academy to Surfrider, Audubon, Friends of Ocean Beach, formerly known as Ocean Beach Park, for a massive dune replanting effort right here. Together, we planted native grasses like beach wild rye, which help stabilize the dunes, combat erosion, and restore critical habitat. This is not just a space of play, but this is a place of conservation and restoration. I want to thank everyone involved in the ongoing dune revegetation pilot project. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce someone who's been a champion for protecting and restoring California's coast and making sure we all have access to it. Dr. Kate Huckelbridge of the California Coastal Commission.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank Phil and the city for inviting me to join all of you and these fabulous people on stage and to really live in the joy with all of you in celebration. Thank you. In celebration of California's newest coastal park, Sunset Dunes. I have the honor of leading a state agency, the California Coastal Commission, that is charged with protecting California's beaches. We implement the Coastal Act to ensure that all people, residents and visitors alike, have access to our beaches, and that those beaches are thriving and healthy ecosystems and places to relax, recreate, and enjoy now and into the future. In my job, I am lucky enough to have visited countless California beaches up and down our beautiful coastline. But this place, Ocean Beach, holds a special place in my heart. It was the first beach that I frequented when I moved to California 20 years ago. And it is part of the reason that I fell in love with California's coastline. I have countless memories of building sand forts, flying kites, beach walks, and all the fun things you do at the beach with my small kids. But this beach, like so many up and down California's coastline, is in danger of disappearing if we don't take action to address the devastating impacts of climate change and sea level rise. And so today, we celebrate the City of San Francisco's efforts to do just that. The South Ocean Beach Climate Adaptation Project creates new opportunities for proactive adaptation to sea level rise and flooding so that future generations can enjoy Ocean Beach as much as we have been able to. Importantly, the project also includes new protections for sensitive dune habitats, like you just heard about. The additional fencing around the most sensitive dune areas will help protect snowy plover habitat for that guy, while also helping to protect new dune areas. These features build on the lessons learned over from the 2-acre dune restoration project you just heard about near the Judah intersection. And I want to thank all the folks involved in that. Golden Gate National Recreation Area, San Francisco Estuary Institute, the city, Surfrider Foundation, and lots of other community groups. Thank you for your work. Also, importantly, this project includes new trails that will connect Sunset Park to the beautiful trail network of Fort Funston to Lake Merced, as well as enhanced connectivity with Northern Ocean Beach to Golden Gate Park, Sutro Baths, and Land's End, and truly make this an accessible place for all. The elements of this ambitious project fundamentally align with the Coastal Act's goals of maximizing public access and recreation, protecting sensitive coastal habitats, and proactively addressing coastal hazards and the effects of sea level rise. The Coastal Commission recognized this and unanimously approved this project last fall. I want to say thank you to all the staff at the city and all the staff at the Coastal Commission. Quick shout out to Luke Henningsen and Stephanie Rexing, my staff who are out here today. And all of the incredible hard work that went into getting us here today. I know, as we've heard, that there's been some local controversy about this project, and not everyone supports this park. But our commitment at the Coastal Commission is to work in partnership with the city to ensure everyone's voice is heard. And thinking longer term, to bring the community together around a vision for transforming this iconic and truly stunning stretch of coastline and California's newest coastal park into a lasting San Francisco treasure that the community will be proud of. The Coastal Commission and our passionate staff look forward to continued collaboration and partnership with the City of San Francisco and all the local stakeholders as they embark on the planning, research, and further development of Sunset Dunes Park and coastal access for all in this beautiful corner of San Francisco. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hucklebridge. All right, before we bring up our next speaker, I want to share a quick look at what's next for Sunset Dunes. Later this year, Rec and Park will kick off important technical studies, looking at everything from traffic and geotechnical conditions to ecology and sea level rise. We'll be evaluating the success of the pilot installations you're enjoying today and gathering public feedback. Thanks to a $1 million grant from the California Coastal Conservancy, this groundwork will help us launch a full community engagement process in 2026. One where, as Dr. Hucklebridge noted, will shape the long-term vision for Sunset Dunes together. And speaking of working together, our next speaker represents a key partner in our climate efforts. Scott Sampson is the Executive Director of the California Academy of Sciences. Not only did the Academy participate in our Dune project, but Scott's leadership and work in environmental education, the preservation of our natural world, and increasing nature access for our children aligns perfectly with the mission of this park. Ladies and gentlemen, my colleague and dear friend, Scott Sampson.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is not every day that you get to open a brand new park, so thank you all for coming out to celebrate with us. "200 years ago, which sounds like a hell of a long time, but isn't, so let's just say 2 human lifetimes ago, almost a third of San Francisco, about 14 square miles, was covered in sand dunes. It was one of the most extensive dune complexes on the California coast. Some of these dunes took the form of giant hills up to 80 feet tall that blew around as the wind took them different places. But other dunes, especially in wind-sheltered areas, were covered in a lush blanket of plants, coyote brush, dwarf versions of coast live oaks, wildflowers like deerweed, dandelion, and knotweed. And together, these vast expanses of often colorful plants stabilized the dunes and supported a tremendous variety of animal life, bees and butterflies, lizards and mammals, and a staggering diversity and number of birds. As late as the early 1900s, dune habitat spanned virtually the entire width of the San Francisco from bay to breakers. Now, does it matter that most San Franciscans are unaware of this remarkable past? I would argue the answer is absolutely yes. Not because anyone's looking to rebury the city in sand, but because in order to move into a thriving future, we must first look backward. We have to understand what this place was like when it was thriving ecologically. And that means unraveling some of the relationships between plants, pollinators, herbivores, and carnivores, relationships that were forged over thousands of years. Because only then can we partner with local nature to regenerate the health of this place, helping to make it stable, resilient, and productive in the face of the changes we know are coming. So this new park, Sunset Dunes, offers an amazing opportunity to do just that, regenerating a critical native habitat while engaging residents and visitors alike. Now, the California Academy of Sciences, where I work, is honored and thrilled to be a partner with Rec and Park and others in this landmark project. On the science side, we have the biggest collection of California nature in the world, and we are going to use that to help regenerate the ecosystem here by learning what was here before. On the public engagement side, we are excited at the prospect of partnering on signage and interactive displays, on community science, which is one of our specialties. Just a few years ago, Cal Academy catalyzed an urban nature alliance, which has become known as Reimagining San Francisco. Today, the Academy continues to serve as the backbone for this alliance, which has 46 organizations, including multiple city departments. Now, Reimagining San Francisco has already become a key partner right here on dune revegetation, on the alliance to rebuild this place. And today, we're celebrating a pivotal moment. We're launching a project that is designed to boost the health of both humans and non-human nature while offering up an abundance of joy along the way. Now, one last thing. Projects like this simply do not happen without strong leadership, as we've learned. And I want to acknowledge Supervisor Engardio as well. And there's one other person I'd like to acknowledge, and that is Phil Ginsburg, our fearless leader of Recreation and Parks. Thank you very much, Phil. And finally, I just want to say thanks again to all of you. We are looking forward to next steps. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Scott, and to everyone at the Academy for your guidance and partnership. Sunset Dunes is a place of nature, and it's a place of peace. It's a place of recreation. It is a place of art. It is a place of community. It is all those things because of partnership and because of philanthropy. Our next speaker is Sid C. Brandy. Sid is the co-founder and executive chair of GitLab. Sid and his wife Karen lead the C. Brandy Foundation and are passionate believers in the power of public art, which they are bringing to our city from the Bay to the Breakers. Thanks to their vision and support, Sunset Dunes is now home to remarkable sculptures like Octavius, the Rock Spinner, the giraffes, with a lot more to come. Sid, thank you. Please come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Phil. I am so glad to be here in this beautiful place with this beautiful weather and with you beautiful people. Thank you for coming out. Karen and over those 10 years, we've fallen in love with this city. We think San Francisco is the most beautiful city in the whole wide world. And we've also fallen in love with big art and its artists. If you've seen Octavia, the octopus, it's from Peter Hazel. And Peter had a great company of 40 people and he lost everything in 2008. He was at rock bottom and he traveled to Barcelona and was inspired by what he saw there, Gaudi's art. And it's throughout the city. It's not in museums. You just walk around in the public space. And he wanted that, and he started building that. And for 8 years, nobody recognized his art until he made the piece that is at the entrance here. It was in 2016, he built it, and it was recognized, and it put him on the map, and it launched his career. And he's so glad to have it here, and we're so glad to have it here, and I hope everyone really enjoys it. This park is community-led, and we're so grateful to the entire community, but also there's some superstars within them. And I want to call out Lucas and Phil and Shannon, who's helped to make this possible. Thank you all. We hope that big art will inspire people and bring people to the park so that it can be enjoyed from sunrise to sunset forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. All right, we're almost there. You guys have been great. But at the heart of Sunset Dunes is community. This is a citywide destination, but it's also a neighborhood park. And it's the neighborhood that makes it shine. Whether it's through leadership, legacy, or love, our next three speakers remind us what it means when the community shows up and shapes something meaningful together. Dorothy Lathan has called the Outer Sunset home since 1960. A trailblazer and educator, she was the first Black teacher at Columbus Elementary, where she retired 32 years later at SFUSD. At 92, she continues to inspire everyone she meets with her, including me, with her resilience, her warmth, and wisdom. Jason Fong is the chair of the San Francisco Youth Commission and a proud product of the Sunset. He's not 92, but he's been giving back since 2014 as a swim instructor, a camp counselor, and now a citywide advocate for young people across San Francisco. And Lucas Lux. Lucas is the president of Friends of Sunset Dune, otherwise, by the way, known just as Park. From advocating for this park, to ensuring it showcases public art, to rallying volunteers, to rolling up his sleeve, being away from his spouse and child to make sure this project is successful. Lucas has been a driving force behind the scenes, making sure the community's voice is always at the center. And when we talk about sweat equity, Lucas has it. Please join me in welcoming Dorothy, Jason, and Lucas.
Good afternoon. It's a supreme honor for me to be a part of this historic occasion. I've lived across the street from the Great Highway for 64 years. And I've seen a lot of change. I've seen this highway go from being a drag race strip at late at night for young people to where we are today. I've also seen where it's been very dangerous to cross the highway to where now we are full of the highway. We're all here together. It's been especially rewarding for me to have this become an official park because I advocated for it to be a park a couple of years ago for personal reasons. And I don't have to go into those now because I don't want to take the time, but I want you to know that because of that, I'm very indebted to Jack Avery, Phil Ginsburg, and my dear supervisor, Joel Ingardio. And out of bad things come good things. We had COVID, and because of COVID, the highway was opened up to people. And it gave us a chance to see what it can be like when you marry the land to the sea. And so here today, we have our Sand Dune Park. Welcome.
Good afternoon, San Francisco! My name is Jason Fong. I am the chair of the San Francisco Youth Commission. Thank you, Director Ginsburg, for that introduction. You truly make me sound a lot better than I actually am. But nonetheless, it is so great to be out here on this momentous day as we celebrate the opening of San Francisco's newest park. For those who don't know, the San Francisco Youth Commission is a body of 17 young people that advise the mayor and the board of supervisors on city issues and policies. But in addition to that, we also represent the values, the visions, the hopes, the dreams, and the aspirations of youth in our vibrant city. I am joined today by a few of my fellow commissioners, Gabby Lastana, as well as Jin Valencia Tao and Ava Oram. And I'm truly indebted to my fellow colleagues, as I wouldn't be able to stand up here and represent young people without them. So please give them a hand. So I only have a few minutes before you all today, so I thought it would be most appropriately used if I shared some of the visions young people have for this Sunset Dunes Park. So the Youth Commission has a table to my left, and we've been out here since 10 a.m. talking to young people and hearing what they dream about seeing at this new place and park. And there are two visions that stood out to me. Is Ben or Leah out in the audience right now? Okay, I'm not seeing them, so I'm gonna try my best to bring their illustrations and describe them to you. So Ben is 2 years old, he is a West Side resident, and he drew a bunch of dinosaurs greeting visitors as they come into this park.
Leah is 6 years old. She's also a West Side resident, and she drew a bunch of water slides. So as you can see, young people have ideas, young people have visions, some of them bold, some of them fun. But the bottom line is the Youth Commission is going to continue to reach out to young people, from our youngest San Franciscans to transitional age youth in their 20s, to make sure we are generating a collective vision for what young people want to see at this new space. But to turn these visions into reality, it's going to take all of us, young and old. We're going to need to collaborate with passion as well as purpose. Together, we can build a park and a city that allows the next generation and the generations after to thrive, to dream big, and to make memories that last a lifetime. Thank you.
Wow. Joel wants me to tell you who I am. I'm a guy who lives a few blocks away. And I am a guy who is so happy to stand in one of the most beautiful places in the most beautiful city in the world. And more than 150 years ago, this city declared where we're standing parkland to connect San Franciscans to the sea. What that's meant through the years has evolved, from horse-drawn carriage rides to a short-lived train line to more recently cruising in your hot rod. And today I get to join you to usher in the next chapter for how this incredible space will connect San Franciscans to the coast and to each other. 5 years ago, through the darkness of COVID, we saw that this space could be so much more than a place to get from A to B. It could be a place to be, a place to linger, a place to play, a place to soak in the incredible natural beauty of this coast together as a community. And it is thanks to that community that we're standing here today. So as we celebrate a park that I believe will define this city, I want to invite you to celebrate a community of volunteers who has defined this park. For 5 years, the dream of today has inspired community members and volunteers to band together to work towards making this park possible. The list is so long. It started with talking to neighbors. Next thing you knew, we were throwing Halloween parties for thousands of kids. We were picking up trash, teaching yoga classes, dancing around in a snowy plover costume, spending an entire week painting snails to get ready for today. The community threw their free time to the wind to knock on thousands of strangers' doors. They gave a little bit of themselves each day for 5 years to build a better future for this coast and for this city. And the future of this park was never certain. The future of this park was at risk over and over. And this community delivered time after time. And I know a lot of their names, but most people will not know their names. But the entire city will know the legacy their legacy in the form of Sunset Dunes. And I'm here to tell you, if you are one of those people, that you will be appreciated in the way that you wanted all along. People enjoying the space that you made possible. So, to those of you who've given so much of yourself over the past years, I want to say thank you. And can you join me in doing that really quick? Can we say thank you? And to all of San Francisco, those of us who've been working for years dreaming of today have a very simple message. Welcome to your new park. We can't wait to share it with you.
Thank you again, Lucas. Another big round of applause for Lucas. I want to thank all of our speakers for sharing your time, your stories, and your love for this space. For everyone else, and we're getting ready to cut the ribbon and then party, but before you go home today, don't forget you're in one of the most delicious areas of San Francisco. Be sure to visit some of the incredible local businesses that make this neighborhood so special. From Andytown Coffee Roasters, to the Rusty Ladle, to Hookfish, to Outerlands, to Pitt's Pub, to Palm City Wines as a native Philadelphian, the best hoagie in San Francisco, to Underdog 2, to the Whitecap, to Pollyanne's Ice Cream. And then after you've eaten all that, you can go to Muscle Beach SF and work it all off. Or you can go to Sloat Garden Center, buy some garden supplies, and work it all off. Or you can go to Avenue Dry Goods, run by Eve Beatty and Eve and Tim, which offers a unique shopping experience just around the corner. And when I reflect on the journey to get here today, I don't think I could say it any better than Eve herself, who emailed me yesterday. And this is what she said to me. We know the road to Sunset Dunes has been long and fraught. A situation that makes us feel blessed that we get to live in a city where people come together on both sides of an issue because they love living here so much. We compare this to other towns these days, so often divided by hate and bigotry, and think if the biggest battle the West Side has is whether or not to close a road, life is pretty damn good. So before we cut the ribbon, we want to take just one more moment to recognize a few other community leaders who've gone above and beyond. We thanked Lucas, but he's been the, oh, thank you, man. That thing is tough to move around. Awesome. We thanked Lucas, but he really has been the driving force behind the park from the beginning. I also want to give a big shout out to Zach Lipton, a dedicated advocate for healthy parks and public space, who spent hours painting and stenciling the roads. He's showered 15 times and he still has paint on him. Obviously, and one more big round of applause to our leader, Supervisor Joel Engardio. Somebody who hasn't gotten a lot of play, but has stepped up for our city time and time again, and has been very, very involved quietly behind the scenes in this project, like Sid representing the philanthropic arm of our city, Jeremy Stoppelman, the co-founder and CEO of Yelp, who funded the bike pump track, the bike skills area, the murals. Jeremy's support is rooted in a deep belief in community, creativity, and access to public space. Again, to Sid and Karen Brandy, please join me in a big round of applause for these incredible park champions. A few others of Lucas's colleagues, Agata and Wojciech Zaremba, Miriam Nafisi and Michael Mader, Lillian Archer, Nina Atkine from Surfrider. Thank you for all the support. All right, now the moment we've been waiting for, the ribbon cutting. The project represents the passion, persistence, and partnership of so many. And we're going to invite some special guest stars to come on up, special leaders to come up and participate in the ribbon cutting, in addition to everybody who is currently on this stage. Carla Short, our amazing leader from Public Works. Julie Kirschbaum, our amazing leader from MTA. Jeremy, please come on up. Mackenzie Ewing, who's the district director for Assemblymember Matt Haney, who couldn't be here. Naomi Ewing, representing Senator Scott Wiener, one of our park systems and this project's biggest champions. Mark Miller, a commissioner with OCII. And Thor, come on up too. Nina, come back up. Ralph Remington, the Director of Cultural Affairs and the Arts Commission. Robert Ogilvie from the San Francisco Parks Alliance. Robin Pam from Kids Safe. Shannon Roberry, a Sunset native, 3-time Olympic track and field team member, bronze medalist in 2012. Thank you for inspiring the next generation of runners right here at home. The CEO of the 6th best zoo in the United States of America, Tanya Peterson. Tanya, thank you for connecting people with wildlife. And we have connected this space to the zoo thanks to Sid and people like Jeremy with really large, cool giraffes. Visit our zoo. Edward Wright, our BART board director, thank you for your commitment to public transit. And Jamie Euling, one of our newest San Francisco Unified School Board members. And of course, if she's here, I haven't seen her, Katie Tang. Come on up. All right. Now, with the help of my team, some scissors. Right on. Joel. All right, a lot of people get gold scissors. Joel, Lucas, come right here.
All right.
Lucas,
Okay,
you got the small one, or do you want this one?
Snowy, you got to be in the front, I think. I'll stand behind you. No, you're good, as long as you can be seen.
Just a couple here.
All right. Everybody grab a scissors. I want everybody to participate in this. Hands in. Grab. Hey, share this. Robin, come on in. Put this back. Can I have some help counting down? 5, 4, 3, 2,